Rashad, why you didn't
Anyways,
hit me up?
What's up, Rashad? Hey, Rashad.
What's up, Rashad?
Thank you, Rashad.
brother, I love you, brother. Trump lit.
What's up, Rashad?
Yeah.
What it do, boy?
Hey, Rashad.
Okay, so Dan was saying what's on the agenda tonight. I just got through watching the Jimmy Kimmel show, and then he said my cousins were telling me about Glorilla. Yeah. Glorilla's on this Anisha tape. Grady baby. Yeah. Did I hear about Dame? That's a cool story for him. Yeah, 100%. I was thinking about talking about the Dame thing, and we could talk about it just a little bit. We'll talk about it a little bit. Let's get into some Dame, bro. Shouting out Damian Lillard. I think if anything, if this teaches you anything, bro, if this teaches you anything, you guys know what it teaches you, man. The grass ain't always greener on the other side, bro. What they say when they say the thing, when they say, man, you don't want to go outside, man. You don't want to be back single in these single streets, bro. Like the women expect you to pay the bill, they expect you to pay rent, they expect you to pay their mortgage. Pay for daycare for their children. You know, you don't want to be single out here. There's nothing more greener on the other side. I promise you that. And while Dame never got to go to Miami, which was long speculated of where he actually wanted to go, leaving Portland and getting a divorce from his wife and things of that sort, and kind of the personal stuff, I should say, as opposed to just straight up saying divorce. That sounded insensitive. Despite him not going to Miami, he still left. And he teamed up with another superstar, and he got his wish. He said, you know, Portland's going in a different direction of rebuilding and things of that sort. I feel like at this point, if you're Portland, why not call up DC and see if you can get CJ, bro? Might as well just get CJ, dog. Just get CJ. If you're going to be trash, rebuild, everything like that, why not just do it with CJ and Dame? Let those boys rock out and end their careers back where they started. It was a great part of Portland, you know, basketball, and now it's time for the new era and things of that sort. But you guys are going to be bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys are going to be bad anyway. Like, even Aiton's gone. So, like, I feel like at that point, guys might as well just let it be. Let nostalgia rock out. Let those guys get their kind of final hurrahs and goodbyes. Like Sham said right here, and like Shams was reporting earlier, kind of part of the disconnect with Milwaukee and Dame reportedly was that Dame wanted to rehab back in Portland for the season with his torn Achilles because he's out for the year. And I guess Milwaukee wasn't cool with that. That was one of the reasons why they cut him and then use that money to sign Miles Turner and things of that sort. But now, not only does he get to stay in Portland and rehab, but he gets to stay in Portland, rehab, and use the official Trailblazer facilities. I think it's a feel good story. It's pretty cool. And I look forward to seeing him spend those next 2 years once he gets out of his injury, Achilles injury, gets back on the court and sees the court once again for the Portland Trailblazers, man. Go Jetta Blue said, hello. Go Jetta, what's happening? Good to see you back in the stream. Good to see you back in chat, bro. And then Dan asked, how do I feel about a backcourt duo of Dame and Drew? So Drew doesn't want to be there. So I don't know if Drew's actually going to still be on Portland by the time Dame gets back next year. I don't think he will personally, but we'll see. I feel like Drew is going to force himself out of Portland by then. But how I feel about it, okay, they're older. The rest of the team is younger, right? So the rest of the team is like a lottery team, but those veteran backcourt guys are playoff veteran backcourt guys. I think that's good enough to be a play-in team. In the West, they might be outside the play-in because it's the West. And that's how I feel about them as a backcourt. Now in their primes, yeah, there's something to look at. I ain't gonna lie. That's one of the top backcourts in the league for sure. But right now, yeah. It ain't nothing to write home about. Especially the fact that I think they're not even gonna play a game together. This is not from inside intel or anything like that with the Portland Trailblazers or the NBA. That's just me personally. SSB is in the building. What's happening, SSB? This is a retirement move. Yeah. Because he's 35 right now. So, okay, 36 by the time he gets back from the Achilles injury. And then you have 2 more years. So that'll put him at 38 years old. It's pretty. Yeah, It's like KG going back to Minnesota to end his career. Then going back to Portland feels like a feel good story, like everything he did for that team. But Portland has been a bad team since him and CJ left 100%. Did he retire? No, Gojetta. He hasn't retired yet. He has an Achilles injury, so he's not going to play this entire season. So he was originally planning to rehab in Portland, even when he was on the Milwaukee Bucks. I guess Milwaukee didn't like that, so they cut him and they used that money to sign Miles Turner. In the meantime, now Dame re-signs with Portland, so he can not only rehab this entire year with his Achilles in Portland, but he could do it at the official Trailblazer facilities as well. SSB said, I have no idea why he didn't go ring chase. Because ring chasing, bro, it just isn't worth it. I think after we saw dang what happened with KD dog, like I just don't think like ring chasing is worth it. Because people don't value the rings, bro. Like the public doesn't value the rings. Like I think Dwight Howard's joint, it didn't feel like ring chasing. It didn't feel like ring chasing. And then he really helped that team, the Lakers, win that championship, the bubble championship and things of that sort. So I think that was a case where, ring chasing or joining a loaded team with a lot of other guys paid off in his favor. But other than that, like most players that do that, they don't even get the respect. Like Chris Paul, when he went to Golden State, if they would have won, if that would have worked out, then people wouldn't have give Chris Paul that credit. They would have been like, oh, Steph wins a fifth one, Dan said I have my top teams in the West. Okay, all right. So here we go. Dan has OKC 1, Houston 2, Minnesota 3, Denver 4, Dallas 5, Lakers 6, Clippers 7th, Warriors 8th, Spurs 9th, and Grizzlies 10th. I like that. Do I think this is a loser move? No, I think this is just like I said, SSB. At the beginning of the kind of like segment, I was just like, it's really just like when people tell you the grass ain't greener on the other side. If you become single again, you go back in the dating pool. Don't do it. The new dating scene and the old dating scene from the last time you were single was just completely different. The grass ain't always green on the other side, man. And I think at the end of the day, Dame is happy in Portland. Like the fact that he was still in Portland in the offseason after he went to the Bucks, it says a lot. And I think he's just very dedicated to that Northwest area, the Pacific area, and things of that sort, man. That's what I think. So it's just like it's a thing of happiness, and then it's also like if Lillard went to Boston, bro, and he was trying to fight for a championship as Tatum came back from his Achilles injury, just would have been ugly, dog. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Just would have, in my opinion, I think it would have been ugly. And then if he won, Dame would have even got that credit. The credit would have went to Dame, Tatum, and Brown again. Tatum and Brown got their second one. Can the Celtics still become a dynasty? Do they still have time to become a dynasty before those guys get old? The Blazers bringing back Dame seems like a desperate move. There's reports CP3 could come back to the Clippers. Do I like that move? Clippers is stacked, bro. I think is Ben Simmons. Did they just sign Ben Simmons to 1 year? Let me see Ben Simmons' contract first of all. It's about right because I think it's just a 1 year. Yeah, it was a 1 year deal. So he's back on the market. Yep. Okay, so now that he's back on the market, I mean, I guess it makes sense. Like put Chris Paul in the dang, you know what I'm saying? Chris Paul in the Ben Simmons role of the backup point guard and stuff like that. I guess that makes sense to be honest. But that doesn't move much of a needle for the Clippers still. I don't know about that. And does Chris want to do that? I don't think he wants to do that. Because the starter would be Harden, right? The starter has to be Harden if you start Bill. But if you bring Bill off the bench and you have Chris at the 1, Harden at the 2, Kawhi at the 3, who at the 4, and then Zubac at the 5. John Collins at the 4. Hey, that's a good 5. and then coming off the bench, you have Chris. Well, no, not Chris Paul. Coming off the bench, you have Bill and Bogey. And that's all I could think of. But yeah, off top. That's a nice 7-man rotation. Yeah. Dan said he's still a free agent. Yeah, that's nice rotation. 7-man. Lillard should just retire, just like going back to your ex you got away from. Clippers that come off as having no plan. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I felt like ever since they had that team with all the dudes from LA, when it was like James Harden, uh, Paul George, Kawhi, and Russell Westbrook, and they were all from LA, it was just like it seems cool, but it don't make no sense. Like you just got a bunch of like guys who used to be famous and used to be superstars. It just didn't make sense to me, bro. Yeah. That's the 5 I was saying. And the SSB said, actually, the Clippers are the West version of the 2000s Hawks. They are better than lottery teams, but not good enough to compete. You mean like the late 2000s and early 2010s Hawks? Because the early 2000s Hawks was dog garbage. The early 2000s Hawks was Jason Terry, Glenn Robinson, Sharif Abdul-Rahim, Theo Ratliff. Those were the dark days, bro. Nobody in the stands. The stands was empty. Steven Jackson said he used to thought that the fans would like come dressed to seats because that's how empty it was, bro. It didn't get lit to, like you say, to Joe Johnson came in 05. That's when it got lit. Shout out Josh Smith too. Harden, Bill, Kawhi, Collins, and Zubac is still a good starting 5. Plus you have CP coming off the bench as a backup point guard. That's the thing though, Dan. Like Chris Paul said he don't want to back up nobody. He said he don't want to back up anybody. And the thing is, Chris Paul, if it comes down to like there are no offers for him to start around the league, he can just retire. It's just like the Al Horford thing, bro. It's just like the Al Horford thing. Oh yeah, I forgot they got Lopez. They do have Lopez, bro. I forgot they have Lopez. And Christie who? Oh, not Max Christie, but the other Christie, like his brother or something like that. I remember looking at the roster when we looked at the roster for the talking about the LeBron packages they could put together. Let me see. His name was like Chris Christie. Oh, Cam Christie. This dude. Okay. Let me see. All right. So yeah. Max Christie's brother is on the Clippers. Appreciate that, Dan. SSB said, so does Giannis leave now? I don't think Giannis should leave. Like, I think he should just stay, bro. I think who was it that opened up? Like, and T talks about this a lot on 520. Like, he was talking about this before Dame did it, but he said just go back to Portland, bro. And T was talking about his entire career. He said no place is going to treat you like the place that drafted you because that's home. Like every other organization, like when he was talking about DeJounte Murray, when DeJounte Murray was venting on the pivot about the Pelicans not really accommodating him the way he needed to until he got hurt. He said, yeah, that's just how it's going to be, man. And until like, unless you're on the team that drafted you, that's the only place that's going to treat you like, hey, we're going to make sure you get the right treatment. We're going to make sure you get the food, everything that you want, recovery, all that stuff, access to the facility, anything that you need without any problems. And he says, once you leave that, then you kind of lose that in the league. So when I look at, and then I've always seen it from like the Hawks standpoint of any time they hold on to a guy for a little while, and then the second that they let him go, it becomes ping pong balls around the league, bro. Just trying to stay relevant. Like DeAndre Brumby, shout out to Pierre. It's exactly right when he left. He went to Detroit. Then he went, no, not Detroit, but he went to Brooklyn, then Toronto. Then he went here, he went there, and then he was like out of the league. Another example of that was Kevin Huerter. Hold on to Kevin Huerter for a while. Shouts out to Red Velvet. That's my guy. Shouts out to Kev's parents. Both of them follow me and stuff like that still to this day. Shouts out to Shindahoa High School up there in New York. Shouts out to Ian Anderson. Anyways, Kev, they was holding on to him for a while. They traded him to Sacramento. And then after that, it was like Sacramento traded him to Chicago. I think Kevin might have got traded again this offseason. Hold on. Let me see if he got traded again from Chicago. Let me see. Kevin Herter, summer tour so far. Okay, so he's still on the Bulls. But it's like, I seen him and someone that they saying Joker could have got traded again this summer. I'm like, dang. Once you leave that team, you get off that team that drafted you, you become a journeyman and stuff like that. So I think, like I said, that's one of the main reasons why Dame went back. And that's the reason why I think Giannis isn't leaving. Because I think we all saw it as fans from a superstar perspective with Kevin Durant. It's like Kevin Durant leaves OKC, and that was just it for Brody. That was it for bro. Like, he never had a home, like a solid home since then, and he was just bouncing from team to team. Bron could go play for anybody. At the end of the day, when LeBron retires and we look back at LeBron's career, everybody's gonna look at LeBron as a Cleveland Cavalier, bro. Like, I don't care how long you was on the Lakers. I don't care if you was on the Lakers longer than what you've been on Cleveland. Everybody in the world gonna look at you as a Cleveland Cavalier. When you go play in Cleveland, they give you the standing ovation and they play the little tribute video and stuff like that. You are a Cleveland Cavalier. It's just like Vince Carter when he went back to Toronto the last couple of years, bro. He's a Raptor, bro. So yeah, I say all that to say Giannis is gonna stay just for the sake of, like, what else you gonna do? Like, where else is it gonna be better? You gonna leave to be somebody else's Robin, right? Help them win a championship. Say you go to Miami. All right, you're gonna join Tyler Hero and Bam. Okay, you might be the face and the superstar at the end of the day. LeBron James went to the Miami Heat, right? Dwayne Wade was still, this is Dwayne Wade's team. And that's insane, dog. That's LeBron James at the peak of his career. He hands down best player in the league, best player in the world at this time and stuff like that. Oh, well, of course, after Kobe, up into Kobe tearing his Achilles. He was the best player in the league, things of that sort. And, like, it's still Dwayne Wade's team because Dwayne Wade was drafted by them. Dwayne Wade won the championship with them before LeBron came. So, like, does Giannis really want to go to another team and you consider the dang Robin for winning your second title? I ain't gonna lie to you, probably not. Just stay in Milwaukee, bro. The grass ain't always green on the other side. I don't think Giannis is leaving, what Dan said. I mean, they brought back most of their players. But I ain't gonna lie, the Milwaukee lineup is nasty, bro. It's nasty. Like, it looks like a lottery team. It looks like a lottery team. If CP3 wanted to win, he would go sign with Milwaukee and be a point guard for Giannis. The thing about it, though, is, like, you're Zero in the building. We got a full house tonight, man. What's happening, Zero? If CP3 wanted, what I was saying about Milwaukee, I felt like if Chris Paul wanted to win, he would have went with y'all, Dan. He would have went to Dallas, but he didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? Because he was like, I really want to be closer to my kids. If not, I'll go back to dang San Antonio. So I really don't think he's going to Milwaukee. I don't think he's going to, any type of East Coast team. I just don't see it because it sounded like he was like standing on business about it for real. Yeah, Zero, Dame coming back home. That's why I say, like, the grass just ain't always greener on the other side. That's when they was like, does Giannis stay? Does Giannis leave? I say Giannis gotta stay, bro. Like, what else? The grass is like, there's no positives for Giannis leaving. Because the example I gave, Zero, was if Giannis goes to the Heat, he's considered, and then he wins his second championship of his career, he's considered like the Robin to Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo. You know what I'm saying? It's not Giannis's championship. LeBron James, the best player in the world at the time, went to Miami, and it was still considered Dwayne Wade's team. Also, too, why is Raya Russ and Horford still on the market? I mean, Horford to the Warriors should have been a done deal, and Russ should be going to either the Bucks or back to the Clippers. I don't know about Russ going back to the Clippers, bro. I don't know what that relationship is like with those players and his teammates over there. Maybe it's cool. Maybe it's good. But what was I going to say? I don't know about maybe Milwaukee, like you say, for Giannis this season to have a point guard. But I don't know where Russ goes. He's gonna find somewhere. I think he's just taking his time. You know what I'm saying? Because you have until the end of July. Well, I mean, he doesn't have it into the end of July, but we've seen it before with veteran players. Like the more vets, they kind of wait to see when the market settles out, which teams have which pieces for them to go sign to, so they know the complete team they're going to, and that's what that is. Horford, he said he's still considering retirement. I don't see Al going to the Hawks, dog. A lot of people in Atlanta, it's like half and half. Half of the people in Atlanta trying to gas up Al coming back to the Hawks and then his career in Atlanta where it started coming back home. And then the other half is just like, we don't need Al. Like, I ain't gonna lie, the way Al left was kind of crazy, dude. The way Al left was crazy. I did a stand up his first game back, and Al, him and his family walked past me. I said, Al Horford, the place where he spent 7, 8 seasons, and he like, and I said, but he was welcome with boos instead of cheers, and then they're like, oh, boo, boo. I said, but we love Al, and I folded in the moment, but to be honest, bro, the way Al left Atlanta was just like, it was crazy. And then he left to go to the rivals. Like he left to go to the Boston Celtics and then was like, I'm going for Celtic pride. And the fans just stand up all the time. And the fans, it was like, yo, this is insane. And now you consider the Celtic legend because you helped them win a championship. Are you serious? You left Boston, came back, and you helped them win a championship? Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm cool off that. Even if he's benefit to the Hawks, I'm cool off me personally. And that's how a lot of other people in Atlanta feel. So yeah. I don't know where Al goes though. Mark Spears was saying he could go to the Warriors, like because his son is a big basketball guy. So he's like, play with Steph Curry, dad. But I don't know. He might retire. We don't know. I got a real question though. Uh Why is Quentin Grimes still on the market? Bro was a good player for the Mavs until they traded him to the Sixers. Grimes is a dog because he's been a good player on like bad teams. Like when like you say, he was a good player in the Mavericks rotation, and then they traded him to Philly, and then he was playing well with Philly, but they were irrelevant. I don't know if that was that who George Niang was talking to when he was talking trash when he said you wouldn't be doing none of this. he said if Maxie was here, yo would be in the corner just like me. You a role player just like me, bro. Shout out to George Niang. I gotta watch that clip, bro. I gotta watch that clip because I don't know if that was Quentin Grimes he was talking to. Let me see. Grimes, was it Grimes? It was Quentin Grimes.
George.
Oh, hold on. My bad. Let me replay it so y'all can see it with the captions. Let me replay. I got to take the chat off.
George.
Shout out to George Niang, bro. This is one of my favorite trash talking moments of all time, dog. That's one of my favorite trash talking moments of all time. Shout out to George Niang, man. It's crazy that Grimes is still on the market. He's a solid player. Giannis wouldn't be considered a Robin. He'll be Batman, but won't be the face of the franchise. There's a difference. So it's like you say, like everybody acknowledged that Braun was the best player on the Heat, but the face of the franchise was still Wade because it was his team. But okay, so look, Kevin Durant on the Warriors, right? Durant on the Warriors, people will argue, it was a debate whether or not was Durant the best player or was Curry the best player. I felt like it changed every night, right? But everyone agreed that Curry was the face of the Warriors. So in that, people didn't look at it like, oh, Durant, Batman, you know what I'm saying? Some people would say that like he played out of his mind or whatever, but they won in 5 games. It's like, okay, without Durant, well, they would have won in 6, 7 games instead of 5. Like, I don't know, bro. All I know is keep LeBron away from my Knicks. Ah, we don't want LeBron in Dallas either. Who would have thought of a world where NBA teams are like, and fans are like, we don't want LeBron on our team? I remember the Cleveland Cavaliers fans were saying that last year. I was like, dang, that's crazy. Like if Giannis goes to the Knicks, he would be considered the best player and the Batman of the team, but not the face of the franchise. If Giannis won a championship with the Knicks, I think Giannis would get a lot of the love, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think it'd be considered Jalen Brunson's championship. I don't know why I think that, but I don't think that in Miami. Like in Miami, I think it'll be considered like Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo. We did it, featuring Giannis, you know. But New York loves Jalen Brunson, bro, and he kind of like he took him to the Eastern Conference Finals. Shout out to Thibs as well. Why did they fire Thibs? I don't know. I don't know. And I know New York fans were like, "Oh, he got out coached, this and that." Like fans always gonna complain, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's, ah, it's a weird thing, bro. It's a weird thing. Hold on, I'm still scrolling down. I hope y'all don't get him either. Dallas. If Al Horford was smart, he would go back to Boston because the Celtics don't have a backup 5 behind KP. SSB said Al isn't a legend for Boston. He has to be. They won a championship. Like, but like Boston fans consider him a legend, a Boston legend. Al Horford. I looked it up the other day. That's where I got it from. Is Al Horford a Celtic legend? A legend. See, oh, hold on. In the Celtics franchise, whose history boasts the best players in history, Horford was a good player. He's never a superstar face of the franchise. Oops. Oh, here it is. AI said, yes, Al Horford is widely considered a Celtics legend by many fans and analysts due to his impact on and off the court, including his leadership, professionalism, and contributions to the team's success. So yeah, I don't know. I guess it just depends on who you ask for real, for real. But I wouldn't go back to Boston. Like I think he's too old to go to Boston, bro. Oh yeah, he said my bad. KP is on the Hawks. Yeah. He shouldn't go back to Boston. He's too old for Boston, bro. Let me see. Hold on, I'm still scrolling down, catching up on these comments. Horford is an NBA championship. He can bring experience back to the ATL if he continues to play. I'm good off it. Porzingis was also on the team. He also won a championship. I'm good off it. 0. If LeBron got brought out, then Dallas would consider it. Oh yeah. Because you don't have to give up people. What would happen if Niang and Grimes were on the same team? They'll flush it, man. It's a lot of players that have like beefs and like trash talking episodes, and they eventually get traded onto the same team. Shouts out to the W. It happens a lot in the WNBA. With Sophie Cunningham and who was that? Sophie Cunningham and Kyle Copper when they were on Phoenix at the same time, and then it happened with Marina Mabry and Dejanay Carrington. It happens a lot in the WNBA. With the Hawks, I remember it happened with when Chris Dunn went to the Hawks to play with Trae Young. Like both of those guys had long-standing beef too on the court. And of course, Philly, when Andre Drummond came to play with Joel Embiid, you know. Durant was the best player, 2 finals MVPs. But like people don't give Durant credit for that, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, and it wasn't like a hands down Durant is the best player on the Warriors. It was a lot of people arguing that Steph Curry was the best player. So that's what I'm saying is like people still, I don't think will ever give Durant that full credit, bro. And that's how I feel like it'll be for Giannis if he left and won another championship somewhere else. If the Mavs got LeBron in the trade, then Dallas would be second Abram, and that could complicate things. Yeah, y'all lose picks, everything for a 40-year-old. Crazy. It's Steph's team. KD was a great player and a great system. Well, there you have it. Miami was Wade team, but LeBron got attention. Hold on. If the Heat got LeBron, they would have a whole lot of expiring contracts on their rosters for trades. Yeah, that I don't see Miami getting him. I respect Brunson, but I'm not high on him. Never was. The rest of your city love him. At the end of the day, a lot of that stuff be my shoulder. At the end of the day, a lot of that stuff is about like just community love and stuff like that, bro. For real, for real. Reinforcements has arrived. Big Nate, what's happening? What's happening, Nate? Wade was injured a lot when LeBron was there, 100%. Celtic legend, ? And then said, so if that's the case, Paul Pierce is a Wizard. Listen, no, it's not the same. Paul Pierce never won a championship with the Wizards. Paul Pierce never left the Wizards, went to somewhere else, and then came back to, like, Paul Pierce didn't go from the Wizards to the Clippers and then back to the Wizards and then win a championship with the Wizards. It's two totally different things. I will always remember Luka and Brunson backcourt. Yeah, you guys fumbled that one. I ain't going to hold you. Or Dallas had a lot of good players, and they just, like, fumbled the situation. Luka had a way better supporting cast and traded early on in his career. Legend, GOAT, generational. We are throwing around those words too loosely. Who? What I say about legend and GOAT? Who I say about legends, GOATs, and generational? Wade was injured because of the system was built around LeBron. Wade carried Bron more than people realize. Oh, Zero really hates LeBron James, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Zero hates LeBron James. It's LeBron James, bro. Look, I'm not gonna lie to you. LeBron first time around in Cleveland when they was doing the pictures on the sideline with Delonte West and all them jokers, hated LeBron. He flopped all the time. He traveled every play. At the end of the day, 20 years later, 23 years later, I can acknowledge that LeBron James is a great basketball player. Is he the GOAT? No. He's a great basketball player, though. I wish we could do a LeBron trade, though, Rashad, because people don't realize how could it affect a team salary cap. Yeah, man. I think when you saw a lot of these moves, like Boston clearing the air and everything like that, you know what I'm saying? It's Nate said he's speaking in general. But yeah, I think it was a rude awakening of like the new second apron and everything like that, new CBA. SSB, those MVPs could have easily been Steph's. The goal was to create a rivalry to LeBron, while Steph's rivalry was more to Kyrie. It's a good point, Zero. Wade would get injured because he didn't know how to land when dunking or going to the lane. He would fall a lot and not land properly. Terrible for the legs. Wade was getting hurt before LeBron, during LeBron, and after LeBron, bro. He was just an injury-prone dude, dog. Like SSB said, the way he was dunking and landing and stuff, it Derrick Rose type beat. Fans poll would tell you what the package will be for a LeBron trade. Yeah. Remember when Wade was on Cleveland, bruh? Man, Wade don't want you to remember that. That's banned from the internet, bruh. Lame security.
Rashad, why you didn't hit me up?
What's up, Rashad? Hey, Rashad.
What's up, Rashad?
Thank you, Rashad.
Brother, I love you, brother.
What's up, Rashad? What it do, boy?
Hey, Rashad.